Secluded Island contains a creature so dangerous that people are banned from visiting. Have you ever dreamed of owning your own private island, but realized, like most of us, you'd never be able to afford one? Here's a thought. Why not just take one for yourself? The ocean is filled with thousands of teeny tiny islands with no residents to speak of. Why not just set up camp and call it a day? If you do, just make sure your new tropical getaway isn't on one small island just off the eastern coast of Brazil. This tiny stretch of sand may seem like a paradise, but take one wrong step and your beach vacation, and likely your life, will be tragically cut short. Hop on a boat and head just a few miles southeast of the Brazilian coastal city of Itajaí. There you'll be met with a spectacular sight, a beautiful, lush, tropical island. Ilha de Queimada Grande is what many would consider the perfect place to get away. Its rainforest-dense shores give way to smooth, sandy beaches below, and the average temperature in the summer rarely tops 80 degrees. Unfortunately, the island isn't a vacation spot. In fact, no one is allowed to visit it at all. That's because this seemingly idyllic paradise is actually home to one of the most dangerous predators on Earth. Meet the Bothrops insularis, better known as the golden lancehead pit viper. And while there are no documented cases of one ever biting a human, there are plenty of legends surrounding the deadliness of this snake's bite. One story tells of a fisherman who foolishly ventured to Ilha de Queimada Grande in search of bananas. When he never returned to the Brazilian mainland, his fellow fishermen set out to look for him, only to discover his snake-bitten body lying face down in his boat. Another legend describes the tragic death of the island's lighthouse keeper. While he and his family were asleep one night, a swarm of golden lanceheads slithered their way into the tower and killed each of them with a single bite. There may actually be some truth behind these stories, as the lancehead species as a whole is responsible for more deaths than any other snake in North or South America. With a venom 5 times more potent than that of its cousins, however, the golden lancehead could wreak havoc if released into a highly populated area. Lucky for us, Ilha de Queimada Grande is the only place you'll find these serpents. And like the legend of their fatal bite, the story of how they came to call the island home is just as frightening. Some believe that during the days of pirates, some resourceful swashbucklers buried treasure on the island and brought golden lanceheads with them to guard it. More realistically, Ilha de Queimada Grande was likely once part of mainland Brazil, though rising tides eventually separated it from the rest of the landmass. As thousands of years passed, the lanceheads that were trapped on the island eventually evolved into the golden serpents that live there today. Their powerful venom is also likely a result of evolution, as their primary food source consists of the birds that nest high in the island's treetops. The venom must be fast-acting and highly potent in order to prevent their prey from flying off. Even their bodies have adapted to island, as the tails of the golden lancehead are much longer than those of their closest relatives. This adaptation serves to help them slither through trees in search of a meal. Thanks to this abundant food source and lack of natural predators, the golden lancehead population has continued to grow exponentially. Estimates have placed the number of snakes here at well over 400,000. In reality, the true population size has been grossly misrepresented, as recent estimates have placed the number of snakes here at between 2,000 to 3,000. Still, this comes out to one snake for roughly every 10 square meters of the island. It's no wonder, then, that the Brazilian Navy has forbidden visitors from stepping foot on its shores. Only research teams with the proper clearance are allowed to travel to the island, and that's only if they bring a doctor along with them. Still, that hasn't stopped those in the illegal wildlife trade from trying. A single golden lancehead can fetch up to $30,000 on the black market, and a single vial of their venom can go for much more. This is because golden lancehead venom is now being harvested for its potential medical benefits. The venom's effects on blood circulation and clotting make it ideal for use in heart disease drugs, thus creating demand for the snakes themselves. Because of this poaching, the Bothrops insularis is now classified as critically endangered on the IUCN's Red List. Inbreeding has also contributed to the population's endangered status, as limited genetic variation has made them susceptible to disease. Humans have also contributed to the snake's dwindling numbers, as early banana farmers actually tried burning down parts of the island away. In fact, the island is actually partially named after this practice, as queimada, which is Portuguese for burnt. Fortunately, conservation efforts are being made in order to prevent these snakes from going extinct. As more restrictions are put in place to discourage poachers from visiting the island, we'll hopefully be able to continue to enjoy the golden lancehead for years to come. From afar, of course.